Welcome to the No Limits podcast with your host, E Willy.
All right, we're back. No Limits with E Willy. I have another special guest. Every guest is special to me. This one's extra special. It's my buddy, Joe Badon. Is that how you say your last name? Badon?
That's right. Yep, you got it.
I know it could be said a lot of different ways. Is that a French last name?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people say Badon, which is like kind of the English way to say it, like Baden Hill. I think King Arthur fought on that or some shit. But yeah, no, Badon. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, we both have French last names that most people can't pronounce.
Was that Bordelon? Is that right?
Yeah, Bordelon. It looks like Bordelon. That's usually what telemarketers say. Can I speak to Mr. Eric Bordelon? He died. He's no longer with us. So this is episode 16, man. I just told you, it's my lucky number. So it means a lot to me that you get to be episode 16. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you are, to everybody who doesn't know, Joe. He's a filmmaker, a producer, a writer, a director, an artist, and all kinds of other things. The guy is extremely artistically talented in every kind of way. You probably dabble in music in some kind of way too, I would assume, huh?
Sure. Yeah, I did about probably 25% of the music for the film, for both films.
Wow.
That I've done. Yeah.
Yeah. And your films are The God Inside My Ear was the first one. And Sister Tempest.
Yeah.
I struggle with that word for some reason.
That's fine. I think we met. Didn't we meet? You commissioned me to do some artwork. Is that right?
Yeah, we met. And I'm from Louisiana as well. I'm from Houma, Louisiana. I grew up mostly in Lafayette, Louisiana. But we met, I believe, in Slidell at a coffee shop. I commissioned you to take on a project that meant a lot to me, and it still means a lot to me. I'm just notorious for not finishing anything. It's still something I really want to get done.
Yeah.
But the world will know about Web City eventually. Joe
did
a lot of the artwork.
How many pages did we did a few pages of that. We did like a little story arc, didn't we?
Yeah, I had you do some cover shots for it, and then I think we got to maybe let's see, I have an album of it. I have 21 images saved that you've done for me. So
yeah. I think we kind of did like almost the first issue, really.
Yeah, we did the first issue. Trouble at Work.
Yeah.
That's gonna come out eventually, man. I'm very slow. I'm a tortoise, man.
It's all right. I understand.
Yeah,
it's funny because honestly, doing movies, it's faster than making like a comic book. It sounds crazy, but there's so much work involved just for like one person when you're doing a comic. Well, if you're writing and illustrating and doing the colors and lettering and everything, it's a lot of man hours.
Yeah,
with a movie, it's more like you're doing a play. So you got everybody's collaborating. And so, so it's a much faster process in a lot of ways.
Is that mainly because there's like a crew involved?
Yeah.
More hands on deck?
Right. Everybody's kind of doing their part. I mean, Marvel and DC kind of had it figured out where you had one person writing, one person penciling, one person inking, one person coloring, one person lettering. So it became like just a factory sort of thing. It makes it a lot faster than when you have one person kind of doing everything or doing most,
Yeah, if I could see that for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to get back into it, man. I'm still writing a few other stories, and the Web City one is kind of like my hub. There's a couple spinoffs to it, and that's the main one. I really want to get them out. I have a Western I'm working on. My wife and I just started a children's book that we're really going to probably knock out first because it's the easiest hurdle to get around.
Sure. Yeah.
So
children's books are definitely a lot faster than comics.
Yeah, I draw too. I'm not as good of an artist as you, but I can produce some work. I think I could do the children's book thing. It's just going to take me a while because I'm just so not good at being consistent with my artwork. And my wife and I together.
Great, man. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, you've showed me a bunch of your stuff. It's really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from a badass artist like yourself. This link right here in the background I put on here is your Zelda artwork as well.
Yeah, that's basically what's up.
I was trying to get out of the way so people could actually see it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I do for a living is commission work. But over the last probably 4 or 5 years, I have been selling my artwork in art markets in New Orleans, and that's kind of become my bread and butter. Just doing pop art and things like that, like Zelda and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do a lot of really cool ones, man. I was looking through them before we started to pick a background, and I was having a hard time deciding, but I was like, all right, I'm going to go to my bread and butter, Zelda. It's the heart of me. I'll forever be a Zelda nerd, man.
Hell yeah.
Did you play all the games growing up too?
I played the original, and I think I might have played Ocarina of Time a little bit. But,
Yeah.
I never really got into Zelda like hardcore. I like the imagery of Zelda, but for some reason never really latched onto it that much.
All right, that concludes this interview. I'll see you later.
You know what? I really got obsessed with like first person shooters, and like that was like most of my gaming was Doom and Wolfenstein and Halo.
Doom.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time playing Doom.
Yes. And I was really obsessed with Worms for some reason. Remember Worms?
Is that like the super 2D looking game?
Yeah, it was like all like everybody was like on a mountain ledge, and there was all a bunch of little worms, and you shoot like rockets at each other and shit.
No, I don't know that one.
I got obsessed with that game. I don't know why. Oh, and Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah.
Tooth, the clown car.
Yes. Twisted Metal 2 was like classic forever.
Yeah. Man, I remember when Twisted Metal Black came out. That was like later on in the early 2000s. That game was twisted. That was a very twisted game.
That was a twisted Metal.
Yeah, dude, it was. It lived up to the name, man. I was like, holy shit, they went dark with this. They had one of the characters was like a inbred mutant guy, and he had like a body squirming in the back of his truck while you ride around in it and stuff.
Oh, nice.
They had all kinds of crazy shit on there. But it was
that
fun.
Was like games got real edgy for a while like that. Like, oh, look what we can do. Look how creepy and weird we can make them. They were fun. They were super fun.
Yeah, Silent Hill. That's another creepy game too.
Yeah. What is that? Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil. Those were great, man. Resident Evil 2 was so much fun back in the day and so creepy.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Hang on one second. I gotta.
Yeah. Take your time.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. All right. If it cuts out, we'll start over. It's saying something about disk space. I don't have a hard drive attached to it. Anyway, we'll just jump in if it goes away from us.
No problem.
Yeah, so man, the video games, I don't play a whole lot anymore because when I do, it's usually consumes my whole downtime because I get so obsessed with the game. So I'll go like a year without playing, then I'll play another one, and I play it like nonstop for like 2 months straight. As soon as my kids go to bed, I'm playing it. Man, it's not healthy, but it's so much fun.
I totally understand. Once I had kids, I got rid of all my video game systems for like Smart 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you girls are getting older now, huh?
Yeah, 18 and 19. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I think I'm trying to remember what year I met you. I think it was like 2012, maybe 11, somewhere around there.
It was a while, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They were young little girls. Now mine are little as well, 9 and 6. So yeah.
My oldest has moved out. My other one is practically moved out. She's always like hanging out over at my oldest's house. So it's like we have an empty nest pretty much.
Wow, that's nuts, man. Which one is your girls is the one that's really good with the special effects makeup?
Oh yeah, Emma.
Is that your youngest?
That's my oldest. Yeah, she's fantastic. What's funny is she's like incredible, and she did a lot of the special effects work for both films. But she really doesn't like to do it that much.
Really?
Which is funny. Yeah, she's gotten more into visual art and like just drawing and painting. And she's fucking incredible at that too. Like anything she does, she just sits down and does it. And then my youngest has gotten into film and into music, and she's freaking fantastic. She's like super avant-garde and weird. It's just great. I'm just like amazed by both of their talents.
Yeah, that's really cool to see that they picked up the art gene too and doing their own thing with it. Yeah, I remember seeing some of your daughter's special effects stuff on social media, and it's like, holy crap, that kid's talented.
Yeah,
she was young at the time, pulling all that stuff off too.
Yep.
I'm all tangled in my cards right now. This is the Unprofessional Podcast, hosted by your unprofessional host.
Every podcast is like this. It's totally fine. Like no matter what, it's like that.
Like my little stand's all invisible because of the background 3D. Magic.
Right.
So I
Movie
know
magic.
we're both Star Wars nerds, original Star Wars nerds. What's your opinion on
Yeah.
the last, what was it, last three that they came out with? I've been wanting
I
to know that.
hated the what was it? The newest, the one that J.J. Abrams did.
It was The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
And
couldn't stand Force Awakens. Mainly because it just felt like a total nostalgia jack off. It was just
yeah,
like, hey guys, y'all didn't like the prequels, so now we're just gonna feed you the original three and repackage it and give it to you again. It
yeah,
just
I could
felt too
totally see
quick.
that.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams plays it extremely safe, like anything he's ever done, and it's always entertaining. Like I was entertained, but then I felt molested afterwards. It was very strange.
Yeah.
Um, I really actually enjoyed Last Jedi, except for the casino planet, which was so stupid. But
Which one was the
I
Last Jedi? Was that the very last one, or the?
that was the one everybody seemed to hate with Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah, okay, that was the second one with Rain Johnson. That his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Like I didn't see why everybody was necessarily hitting, which I understand if people did, and I still haven't watched the new one, the very latest one. Um, and I'm really have enjoyed what I've seen of Mandalorian. I haven't finished it, but Mandalorian was very entertaining.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
so
almost chose that too. Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I got your baby Yoda's species.
yes, oh God, Baby Yoda's so damn cute.
Yeah, you did a
But
good.
you know,
Your artwork on it's cool.
it's weird with Star Wars, and I'm sure everybody kind of feels like this at this point, but it's just so oversaturated. Comic book superhero movies are like this too. It's just there's so
Oh God,
many
yeah.
of them that it's just like I just want to see something new.
Right.
Like if you're gonna make something superhero, then make a new superhero. Like it's been the same Batman for the last 60 years, and I love Batman. He's like one of my favorite superheroes. But
Yeah, me too.
let's do something new now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah. Well.
I have a very love-hate relationship with pop art, pop culture.
Yeah.
You know,
I know that about you. That's one of the things I think is very interesting about you. And that's why I wanted your take on it. That's cool that you like The Mandalorian, though. I really like that too. I actually have the intro theme to as my ringtone. That's about as nerdy as it gets.
it's good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Did you watch the behind the scenes stuff with how they did the backgrounds, which is really neat. They,
No, where's that at? Where can you find that?
I think on YouTube is where I
Okay.
watched it, but basically most of the backgrounds are just giant projector screens,
Oh
and
wow.
it actually follows the 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 background. It's really weird, hard to explain, but the digital backgrounds that are projected in real time follow the camera. So like everything kind of moves with the camera. So it's very strange,
That's
but it's
tricky.
amazing. So instead of everybody standing in front of a green screen like maybe the original prequels,
Hmm.
everybody's standing in front of this digital, real time projected background, and so it actually feels real. Like you're watching these scenes, and when you watch the behind the scenes, you're like, damn, I thought they were really in a desert, and they're not, and
Oh
it
wow.
really feels real. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Well,
So
that makes me like the series even more. When is
yeah,
it coming back? Do you know? You said you haven't even finished it though, huh?
I haven't finished the first. I know I'm terrible. I don't have Disney Plus, so
Uh,
I've been like pirating episodes here and there. So
yeah.
I don't have
Um,
no idea.
so you don't even know that Chewbacca
I don't
dies?
even know, have they filmed the second season yet? I have
No,
no
I don't
idea.
think so. I don't. It might be
Yeah,
filmed.
so,
I don't know. The whole COVID thing might have shut all that down. They might be
yeah.
on hiatus with it.
Everything's on a halt right now. So
Yeah. The Chewbacca joke was a joke, by the way. Anybody who hasn't seen it, I'm not spoiling anything. Chewbacca's not in the Mandalorian.
right. But
um,
Life Day is referenced, which I was very happy about.
yeah. But the series, where are you at in it? You like in the middle of it?
Like the third or fourth episode, somewhere around
Okay.
there.
Well, you got a lot. Yeah, you have a long way to go.
I have a lot to watch. Yeah.
It gets better. I think it gets even better as it goes along. I tried to get my brother on it. He grew up with Star Wars too. He was around when it came out. I wasn't born yet. Maybe when the Return of the Jedi came out. But
Yeah.
he didn't like it at first, and I was like, "Man, you're killing me. You have to watch it again." Now he loves it. He gave it a second chance, but yeah, he's a fan of it as well.
Well, the thing that was amazing about Star Wars was that it was a completely new mythology, and no one had ever done it before. And so that's it was just a new thing, and now it's been bled completely dry, and I feel like now Hollywood really tries to play things safe, so they don't want to try anything new, but at this point they've bled everything dry. Now we're doing remakes of remakes, and
Yeah.
and let's try something new. Let's spend less than $100 million. Spend $1 million and do something new instead of spending 150 or 200 million, and then you have to do something that you guarantee money back, and so then you play it safe. I'm just tired of playing it safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is.
The Marvel culture is really bad for it, man. They
Right.
started a theme park of movies.
Exactly. Wouldn't it be exciting to see a new Star Wars, like a new mythology come out, like something brand new that you're like, holy shit, if this came out of some dude's head or woman's head or trans person's head, whatever, a human being's head, and they created a completely new mythology. That's what I want to see. I want to see that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that inspires me to get back going with my stories too. I have so many of them that I'm working on, and I put so much time into them. They're all like alive in my head, but I gotta get them out, put them on paper, sell the screenplays or do something with it.
Yeah, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. The frustrating thing is that no big companies will give any of us small guys a chance anymore. But the good thing is now the technology's here where you can self-publish, you can get your hands on cameras and equipment to make comics and books and movies and get it out to the public without the gatekeepers of distributors and producers. And so that is exciting because we can make new mythologies. We just don't have that access to the studios anymore, really.
Right.
That's fine. Fuck them.
Dude, you did it, man. Yeah, I haven't seen The God Inside My Ear yet. I'm going to check that one out, but I saw your latest, The Sister Tempest, and that word gets me every time. But that was you did a hell of a job with that movie, man. That was super impressive. When I was watching it, I thought I was like having an acid trip or something. Like, this movie is nuts. It is so crazy. Yeah.
Thank you. I love psychedelia films, and I love those kind of films. So
yeah,
it really came out of a love for that kind of genre. But also, as you can tell watching the movie, I love Godzilla, I love sci-fi, I love pop culture. So I tried to mix my love for art house and psychedelia and my love for pop culture and sci-fi and all that sort of stuff and kind of mix them together,
Yeah, you definitely did that. It was a nice jambalaya of craziness, man. For our Cajun folk. Yeah, there were so many parts of that movie, your film, that I was like, holy crap, this is twisted and crazy, but it's just super entertaining. And I was surprised how good of the acting was done too, man. The actors that you hired, they all did a great job. That was really cool.
Yeah,
these smaller
absolutely.
films, you don't usually see that as much, but I think they did a great job.
Thank you. But like Linnea, who I had worked with her on the last film, God Inside My Ear, and she was fantastic. And so I wrote that part for her, who played the role of Ginger in the film. I really wrote that just for her because I knew exactly what she was capable of. And so that was cool. Like every film, I was able to find new talent and then build upon that,
Yeah.
And then Linnea referred me to Callie, who ends up being the main character in this film.
Yeah, she did a great job.
it's fantastic, you know. And I think really all it comes down to is you just got to keep I'm sorry, what's the word? Doing auditions until you find somebody who nails it. It's as
Right.
simple as that, you know.
Yeah.
And Callie just nailed it, you know.
Are all these actresses and actors, are they Louisiana based, or are they all over the place?
Everybody was except, well, on God Inside My Ear, everybody was. But then, like Linnea moved to New York, and one of our guys who plays one of the Space Council members moved to California, and so they both actually came down just for this film. And then my producer, one of my executive producers, Clint Carney, who also did all the CGI work in the film, he's in California, and he flew down on his own dime to work. Actually, everybody flew down on their own dime to work on the film that was from out of the state. So they just believed in the project, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. What was I can't think of his name. I apologize for not preparing better, but what was your guy that was kind of like leading and talking into the camera? What was his
Oh,
name?
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin Galen.
He did a great job too, man. He was he's a hell of an actor.
So good. And there's like the first scene that he's in where it's like a big long white hallway and he stops and talks to the camera. I gave him a set of lines, but he just kind of used that as guidelines and pretty much just improvised. And he improvised for about probably 2 hours, and then we took all that footage and got it down to 2 minutes, which was very fun, very fun for my editor. So.
Yeah, I bet the editing and how it was all chopped up and made it even more of like you're in a dream, and it was crazy, very psychedelic.
Yeah, definitely.
Very well
Thank you. We did a lot of choppy editing in the first film, and it was kind of like, I remember sitting down with Joseph Strayed, my editor, with God Inside My Ear, and I had these ideas for this choppy editing, and he wasn't too sure about it at first because he felt like it might just feel like bad edit, you know. But I said, let's just give it a try, and he tried it out and he loved it, and he really liked it. Has become kind of like a trademark for both films with the choppy editing, and that really came from watching a lot of Michel Gondry's films, like Sunshine for the Spotless Mind, and a movie he did called Dreams. I think it's called Dreams. No, Science of Sleep is what that movie. And he does a lot of choppy editing as well. So it kind of came from his films. So.
Yeah. Were you talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? That film?
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey? Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Exactly.
I love that movie. It's done so well.
Yeah, top 10 for sure. It's so good.
It's everything about it's great. The way they filmed it, the writing, the scenes, everything about it, man, it was just so cool. It feels like you're watching somebody's dream. It's
so good. If you like that one, anything by Charlie Kaufman, who wrote that film, has got like a very similar tone. Charlie Kaufman's really, really good writer.
Cool. I want to check him out.
Yeah.
So you're doing most of your day is filled with doing the pop art type stuff and selling in New Orleans. Do you go to just expos, or do you have like a stand, or how does that work?
Well, I used to do comic book conventions, and it just wasn't making money. And if you ever go to comic book conventions, I'm sure you have.
Actually, I haven't. It's on my list of things really? To do. Yeah.
I find them incredibly depressing. Like I love the idea of comic book conventions, and in movies and TV shows, they kind of create this fantasy comic book convention that's not a real thing. Because when you go to them, they're just these real sterile, big, Walmart kind of situations, and like no music playing, and there's just rows and rows of people trying to sell you garbage. And then everybody's really going so they can stand in line to get an autograph from Leonard Nimoy or something. And so you're an artist sitting there trying to sell your art or your comics, but people have already paid $50 to get in, and they've already paid 50 or 100 or more dollars to meet their favorite celebrity. They usually don't even have any money to give you at that point. And so you're just like, okay, this is sad.
Oh yeah, that I could see how that would be frustrating. Just
Yeah,
sitting
so
there. Cool
then I
hour.
started doing, right. And so I started doing markets in New Orleans. And markets in New Orleans are great. You do it like nighttime markets. You know, you're sitting there with a bunch of other artists. There's no celebrities, and everyone walking through is completely drunk, and they have very loose wallets, and it's wonderful.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, and I
Gotta
met
pay
some really
bills.
cool. Exactly, I met some really cool people from that. You know, just people coming through that become very like lifelong fans from just coming through the market, and they're more of my demographic because a lot of times with comic book conventions, a lot of younger kids, and I draw stuff. Most of the stuff that I draw is stuff that I love or stuff that's from my generation. And so my generation's like that 35 to 55 demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like half of the people at a convention is like 12 to like 20. And like, I remember sitting there having to explain what Blade Runner was to kids
Wow.
before, you know? And so like when I'm like selling in New Orleans, it's mainly like 40-year-olds, and they're like, that's my generation. So they love the same things I love. So it's like easy sell, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you in your early 40s now?
I'm 43, 42
43?
or 43. I can't even remember.
About the
Born
same
in
age as my
77.
sister. Oh, okay. Same age as my brother. Okay, cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just made 36. So I'm just in your demographic to appreciate all
Nice.
this stuff.
Yeah, you're a baby.
I'm a baby. I'm the baby of our family for sure.
Nice. Oh, me
We
too. I understand.
are you?
Yeah.
Youngest power, bro. Found it.
That's right.
My girls get upset when my mom says that I'm her baby. She's like, he's not your baby. He's our dad. He can't be a baby.
Oh, my mom still calls me Joey, and I'm still the baby. Yeah, it'll never change.
How many siblings do you have?
I got a older brother, older sister. So I'm the youngest of three.
Okay, that's what I am too. Older brother, older sister.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, buddy. Or what are they into, man? Do they appreciate your artwork? Do they have the artistic gene too?
Oh, I mean, yeah, they love my stuff. My brother is a complete nerd, but he's also, it's interesting. Like he's, you know, he went into the military and he went, you know, he was like fraternity kind of guy, but he loves Star Wars, loves role-playing games. You know, like we have so many things in common with like movies and TV shows, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister's always been like completely, my whole family, my dad, everyone, my mom, have always been very supportive of everything I've done. I have a very supportive family. I'm very lucky for that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And my mother is the only one in my family that watched this podcast. So, thanks, Dad. Thanks, bro. Thanks, sister.
Send your dad, send your family this one.
Yeah.
Then, you know.
Love you, Mom. Thanks for watching. She watches them as soon as they come out. I was like, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Nobody else does.
That's very sweet.
Only people watch for my guests. Nobody watches for me. Everybody tells me, like, I'm good. Watch Joe Rogan or something else.
One day you'll be there.
Yeah,
Right.
one day. You brought up Batman earlier. I'm a huge Batman fan, big Batman nerd. I love the Joker. I've always been a huge fan of the Joker.
Yeah.
What do you think about Robert Pattinson playing Batman, the newest one coming out?
I am super excited actually about that. I love Pattinson. Like, of course, the vampire movies are garbage.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, if you've seen Good Time or The Lighthouse, he's a fucking phenomenal actor. And he's just been picking like really good roles. Like he's not been like going the traditional Hollywood route where he's just all shit.
Yeah.
All the roles he's picking are fantastic. So
Yeah.
I applaud him for making a shitload of money with those vampire films. And now he has the ability to just pick whatever good roles he wants. So he's a good businessman. And obviously he's got good taste at the same time. So Yeah, I'm excited, dude. I love the Batmobile. Looks fucking badass, like an old muscle car, like sort of deal. It looks cool. So,
Yeah, I'm excited about it too, man. I heard that they have a ton of villains in it, which I love. The Batman villains are probably my favorite like group of villains out of any series of
oh
superhero
yeah, it's a
characters.
total circus sideshow,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
so
what's so
classic.
fun. You know, for me, Frank Miller's Batman like got me into Batman.
The
Like
darker
it was
side of it.
like right, yeah, like Dark Knight. Dark Knight was like holy shit. Like I never read a comic book like that. Like I didn't know comics could be like that because I had just was reading like, well, I was reading just regular Marvel and DC crap, and then check. First of all, his storyline was like nothing I'd ever read. It was a full story arc that just ended, which many times with comics, as you know, they just keep on going. Even if someone dies, they come back, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh god, it's like a bad soap opera. And with Frank Miller, he just did finality with this graphic novel, and that was amazing. And his artwork was like nothing I've ever seen. You know, a 13-year-old kid had never seen something like that. So yeah, it just blew my mind on every level. You know,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's since then I've always had a real soft spot for Batman, for sure.
Did you like the Sin City series as well?
You know, I didn't read that much of it. And what I read of it, I've enjoyed. I never finished the movie. I'm not a big Robert Rodriguez fan.
Yeah. That kind of puts a a rock in that one for sure because it's all his movie. But
Yeah, you know, and so it just kind of it's a little. I don't know why it's a little too much. Even though I enjoyed what they were going for, like they're really going for like a comic book on film.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed that, you know, but I just couldn't get into it for some reason.
Yeah, if you read the books and then go watch the movie, dude, it's actually really impressive how close they do it. They turn the book into a real film, and
Nice.
it's like page by page, and it's really impressive. So that side of it I like too. I'm not a big Rodriguez fan as well.
Yeah, he's a weird one. I mean,
yeah.
if he ever wants to give me money for a film, I'll love him. But
yeah, he's a strange cat, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right, well, let's jump into the 6 questions, and then I will cut you loose, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I want to get you on our Truth or Theory podcast as well sometime, too. We talked about doing a cults episode. That'd be a lot of fun.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would really love that.
Let's get that done in, let's see, I guess August. We stay pretty booked up on that one, but I'm sure we have some openings in August. We'll get you in there, and we can do that, and it'll be a lot of fun. Give us some time to study up on it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so you ready for the 6 questions?
I am ready.
6 questions of doom. Number 1, what movie can you watch over and over without ever getting tired of?
True Stories. It's a David Byrne Talking Heads film, and it's kind of like a rock musical kind of film, starring John Goodman. I think that might be his first role, possibly.
Oh, wow.
Damn, it is just entertaining. Every second of that film is completely entertaining.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm about to check that out. I've never seen it.
It's really fun. Yes.
That would be late 70s, early 80s?
Like 81?
81?
It was
Okay.
81. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to check that out. I got to watch The Lighthouse, Sarah. I keep hearing people talk about that with Robert Pattinson. I have the premise of it down with him and Willem Dafoe, but I haven't
Willem
seen it
Dafoe,
yet.
yeah. Dude, Willem Dafoe's performance is like one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life in that film. And the writing, I think Robert Eggers is the writer-director.
Mm-hmm.
The writing is like straight Shakespearean writing. It's just unbelievable, dude. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Willem Dafoe is somebody I've always wanted to play the Joker, like with a lot of other people. There's a whole cult of people that want to.
Right. Yes, he would be a perfect Joker. Yes.
Side note, before we go back into the 6 questions, did you see the Joker film? with Joaquin Phoenix?
It's really all right. It's really stupid because I have been wanting to see that film and I still haven't. It was like like I've almost watched it a couple times and I'm like, damn it, I need to be in the right mindset. Like I don't want to be in the wrong mindset for that film
Yeah.
because I can tell it's going to be some heavy shit, you know. And so I still haven't watched it, even though it looks incredible and I want to see it. I remember when the trailer came out, I shared it like 3 days in a row. It was like, dude, everybody needs to see this trailer. And
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it yet. It's terrible.
Dude, I have a picture in here that's framed of the movie poster of him dancing on the staircase. It's probably my
Nice.
favorite movie. It sounds kind of corny to say a brand new movie is my favorite movie, but I
No, dude.
absolutely love it. It's done so well.
I just watched this like just a brand new movie called Jesus Shows You the Way of the Highway. It just came out a few months ago, and I watched it immediately. I think it's maybe the best movie I've ever seen, and it's
Awesome.
just because it feels like it was made just for me, like that
Yeah.
sort of thing. When you watch a movie like that, you know, you just
That's
like,
how
oh
I feel
yeah,
about the Joker, man. I just even my wife knew it when we were watching it. Like she could tell, like this is your movie. Like I freaking
yeah,
love it, man. That's one of my favorite characters, and Joaquin took it to a whole other level. And the way they do the lighting in every scene, everything is just so awesome. It's just done so well. It's depressing, but like really cool because you get to see a whole other side of Batman's arch enemy.
yeah. You know, what's funny is, but preparing to watch that film, I watched King of Comedy, and I
Mhm.
don't know if you've seen that yet. And
I
of
think
course,
I've seen
there's
part of it. That's with Jim
yeah.
Carrey.
No. It's an old Martin Scorsese film.
Oh yeah, with De Niro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that the Joker was kind of like heavily influenced by.
yeah, absolutely.
Dude, such a good film. Yeah, definitely check that one out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think I had it on my list to watch, and something got happened. And I forgot about it. I need to get that back on there though. Taxi Driver was another one.
Taxi Driver, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
so good.
man, some good movies, man. The only thing I don't
Yeah.
care about Taxi Driver is the background music. It's so repetitive; it gets on your nerves.
Oh God, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Taxi Driver. I actually like King of Comedy better. So
Yeah,
yeah, definitely check it out.
yeah. I really like those like dark movies where there's not a whole lot of dialogue, where you're just kind of watching it and stuff's happening, but there's not a lot of like explaining going on.
Yeah, you know, that's something that I've always had an issue with myself. Like I tend to over explain when I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell in Sister Tempest, thank God inside my ear, I like a lot of dialogue, like personally, but at the same time, I noticed that I need to try to like for the next couple films that I'm writing, I'm trying to write a story more visually
Yeah.
than dialogue.
Yeah, they're both awesome in their own way because like Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorites too, and his movies are super strong dialogue, and it's like
Yes.
overdone dialogue, but it's still awesome. So I mean, I think what you're doing is awesome, but yeah, experimenting with it would be cool to see too.
Yeah, you know, there's one film that it's one of probably my top 3 or 4 favorite films of all time. Is a movie called Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, and there's almost no dialogue, and then half the dialogue is such heavy Scottish accents that you can't even understand them anyway.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to. You could put the movie on mute and it'd be fine. You could understand what's happening, and it's told visually so well that it's incredible. It's astonishing to watch how wonderfully it's told just visually. You know?
For sure. Did you back in the day? It's kind of milked to death, but did you like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon when it first came out?
Oh God, yes. Oh, I love
Me
that
too.
film.
Me too. I
I'm
thought that was a great movie.
huge fan of Kung Fu fantasy. Like Kung Fu by itself is fine, but like everybody loves Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee's amazing. But I love the old like fantasy aspect of Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Like even more than just Kung Fu fighting. Like I want to see them in the fucking old robes talking about their weird magical powers and shit. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was like totally up my alley for that.
Yeah, same here. Pai Mei from Kill Bill.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's jump back to the questions. I seriously sidetracked, but that was good stuff. Number 2, what's the best practical joke that you've played on someone or that has been played on you?
Okay, this is really stupid because it's a really dumb joke. But this was in high school with a bunch of my friends and my girlfriend, who's now my wife. We were just like in my girlfriend's house, just hanging out, and we started talking about like ghosts or some shit. Of course, you're a teenage kid, so you like totally believe in all that shit, like completely, right? And like we're scaring each other like with these ideas. And then one of my friends, old friend Blake Boyd, who's also an artist, we didn't know he was at the house, and he was outside, and he starts scratching on the windows with, I think, just his fingers, and we couldn't see him. We just hear this, and we freaked the fuck out, like completely freaked out, like dashed for leaving the house, and opened the door, and there's Blake standing there just laughing. So yeah, no, we really shit our pants on that one. So
yeah, I
it's
remember,
stupid, but it was effective.
yeah, that kind of stuff was awesome when you're younger. I did something similar to my sister. We used to share a bedroom, and my brother shared the other room. And she came back from going to shower or the bathroom or something and came back into the room. So I went and opened the window, kept the blinds over the window so she couldn't see that it was open. Waited for her to come into the room, and it just busted my hand through, like making crazy noises at her. She squealed. It was awesome because I was always bullied as a little kid.
Jump scares are my favorite practical jokes because they're usually fairly harmless, but they get the reaction you want, you know.
Yeah, that's a big thing in our family. My dad and I did it all the time, and now I do it with my kids. And my youngest girl gets a kick out of it too. She's always sneaking around, waiting to get me next, and whatever she can do to find a spot to sneak up on me. She's on a mission to scare me.
Somebody gave me this trick, and it works really well. If you crouch down on your hands and knees, and if you like go around a corner, right, where no one can see you, and you just bolt out and make real, kind of dog sounds or something. There's something about like being on your hands and knees and like coming out very fast and aggressive that just catches someone completely off guard. And like it's almost always very effective.
Yeah, I could see that. All right. Look, my girls need to look out. I got a new weapon. Like a rabies human or something.
Yeah.
Let's go back to our tribal stuff when we're all back in tribes and stuff, looking out for predators.
Those evolutionary things kick in.
All right, speaking of time, number 3, if you could time travel one time there and back, which would you do? Would you go to the past or the future?
Oh, God. This one's a hard one for me because in some ways I don't really care at all. So if
either way, forward or backwards.
Yeah, so my gut reaction, my first thing that would pop in my head was I want to see dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I really just like if I can go back and go there and come back without any, being squashed or killed or anything. I would like to see if those damn things have feathers or not. I want to see how massive they are. That would probably be the most like awe-inspiring thing, is to actually see a real live dinosaur. Yeah. It's also like, of course, like every 5-year-old kid, or 7-year-old boy, we love dinosaurs. Like that's what I loved growing up.
Me too. Yeah.
I want to see that thing.
Dude, that would be so nuts, man. Can you imagine just walking up in the trees, like through the woods, and all of a sudden a T-Rex or something came through there, and they look like Jurassic Park? That would be so scary.
All right, I'm gonna ask you because talking about dinosaurs, what was your favorite dinosaur?
Man, I don't know. I think
we all had one, right?
I'm pretty cliche, man. I love T-Rex.
Nice.
I love the T-Rex.
Hell yeah. I don't know why I really was obsessed with Tyrannosaurus Rex. Was like the one that had the 3 horns? What were they called?
That was a Triceratops.
Triceratops, yes. I was really obsessed with Triceratops.
Yeah, that's probably my second choice. They're so cool.
Yeah, it's like a weird rhino elephant thing. Yeah, I want to see that thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Triceratops. They were supposedly vegetation eaters, vegetarians. So you'd be safe as long as it didn't ram the shit out of you like a rhino.
Right. I don't know how scientists figure that out. Because I don't think we could open up a stomach and actually see what they ate. So I have no idea how that works. But
Yeah, I think most of that stuff is just based off their teeth shape. So
that
if
makes sense.
their teeth are shaped for like grinding vegetation, then
Yeah,
they
that
lean
makes
towards
sense.
that. If they have shredder teeth like a predator, canines and all that.
Thank you, Mr. Wizard. I appreciate that.
I am a herpetologist.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, you do that shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a real herpetologist, but yeah, I love reptiles. I'm always out looking for reptiles and playing with dangerous animals.
Right. Yes.
It's one of my
Always with
favorite
the snakes.
pastimes.
Yeah.
Number 4, what is something that really irritates you?
Ungratefulness.
Ooh, dude, I'm right there with you, man. That's
dude.
That's 100%.
Like people that are ungrateful or bratty, I just want to throw them off a bridge. Like every fucking one of them.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'll catch them at the bottom of the bridge and then throw them in a volcano after.
Yeah, exactly.
Alley-oop.
I mean, I just feel like people need to be grateful for what they have,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely, man. That, unfortunately, I think that falls on parents a lot of the times.
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that's always bothered me too, is ungratefulness. That shit drives me nuts. It's such a bad quality, and it's not I don't know how you could go through life like that and just be ungrateful about everything. Not appreciative.
And like my generation has become real helicopter parents, and like the whole soccer mom thing where it's like always like basically attending to their children all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, you're really going to create monsters that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'm a big believer and supporter of making your kids have to work for things and earn it, basically. Because if you just hand them shit, man, they're not going to have that natural hunger and drive to leave the nest the proper way and be their 100%. Own person. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to be with you until they're 30.
Yeah, or get all kinds of handicaps that are going to hold them back in life because they're too pussified.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, number 5. What is an item in your home that is special to you for sentimental reasons?
All right, I'm going to say 2.
Yeah, I'm fine. You can say 12. I don't care. This is your show.
First of all, I'm not sentimental at all. That's all, we just talked about that before the show started.
Yeah.
Like I have no sentimental attachment really almost to anything. I would say maybe one thing is my wife's wedding ring, because it was my grandmother's wedding ring.
Okay.
And so, so it's like a handed down family heirloom. That's really a beautiful thing.
Right.
And so, that'd be the one thing I'd be really upset if we lost, Besides that, man, this is really stupid. I just finally bought a Hero Quest board game, which is something I had when I was a kid, and I finally pulled the trigger and bought the motherfucker again. And I like, it's like something that's sparked in me having that thing. It's so stupid because I hate nostalgia and I hate sentimentality, but that was one thing that I've always wanted for years because I had it growing up. And so, but wife's wedding ring, that's what I'll default to because she'll be happy with that.
There you go. Points.
Yes, exactly.
So the way I like to frame this question for people that struggle with it is, your house is on fire right now. You have a chance to grab some stuff. What's some of the things that you're going to try to grab? Like material things that are replaceable, like computers and shit.
Right.
That's one thing. But like, is there something in your house that you're like, man, that shit means a lot to me, even though it means nothing to anybody else?
Yeah, I'm looking around. The Hero Quest board game. Yeah.
That's where you're at?
That board game. Yeah. I have like an obsession with board games. I have a crap load of board games, and I rarely ever play because Tanya hates board games. My kids don't like playing board games. And so I have a shitload that they every once in a while I'll pull out and either make them suffer playing with me or playing with just whoever's around. But yeah, anytime I go to a thrift store or anywhere, I'm like always just digging through the board games, buying some weird one. And the weirder the better. If I can find something really strange. Oh yeah, like there's one game I'll never part with. It's a game called Night of the Ill-Tempered Squirrel, right? It's a card game. And it was made by this card game company called Alien Menace. They were around for a couple years and folded. And all their games were like made as cheaply as possible, all black and white, all really shitty materials. The game actually comes in like a white paper bag with the instructions printed on the bag. And it's basically this game where you're a director, you and everyone else in the game are directors, and they're all trying to make the worst film possible. And that's the premise of the game. That's a beautiful thing. I love it. And I love the DIY quality. I'm really a big fan of DIY and punk rock and things that are, like made with your own two hands, made with like not the right materials, made very cheaply. That's my favorite type of thing. So yeah. Night of the Ill-Tempered Squirrel. That's my final answer.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I've never heard of that, but I like it now. You sold it.
No one has. No one has. It's not even for sale anymore. I think you can buy used copies every once in a while. But
yeah, dude, we got into board games about 2 years ago with a couple while we were living in North Dakota, which was boring as hell. Shout out to Steve and Lindy. They got us into board games, and there's one called something with a C. It's Catan. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. Settlers of Catan.
Yeah. That game's a lot of fun. At first, I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to get a hang of this. I'm not a very sharp guy when it comes to this kind of stuff. But after I got a hang of it, I love it, man. That game's a lot of fun. It's hard to teach other people, but it's fun. Yeah,
there's a card version of it. It's called like something of Catan, but it's a card game version, and it's a lot easier to play, and it's pretty much the same enjoyability. Yeah, a lot faster and easier,
Okay, cool. We'll have to check that out. We bought it last winter, I think. We have a decent collection of board games as well. It's fun to play with other couples. It changes it up.
Yeah,
the phones away. Kind of bring it back to the 90s.
I love that interactive quality with board games that you don't get really with anything else.
Yeah. It has a great feel to it. It's more connecting. Yep. All right, last question, number 6. What accomplishment are you most proud of?
It's going to sound really stupid, but it's very true. This new film, Sister Tempest, is like I'm extremely proud of that thing. Like
you should be. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. I think the reason is because I've always tried to make art or comics or anything really still kind of accessible for other people, except for my music. If you ever go to my Bandcamp, my music is basically I'm just doing it for myself. But most of the things I've ever created, I've always tried to have a level of accessibility. And with this movie, I made it for myself. I didn't do it for any other person, but I did it with the intention of creating a personal piece of artwork. And if you watch it, you're like, how is this a personal piece of art? Because it's a nutty film. But it really comes from like a lot of personal experiences. Like there's a scene in the film where the main character comes upon a car crash, and an angel comes out and talks to her, and she tries to revive the guy who's dead, and that comes from a completely personal thing that happened in my life where when I was playing in a band back in right after college or right before college, somewhere around there. We did a little tour. We went to Houston. We were driving back, and we came across a car accident in the middle of the night. A truck accident. This truck had flipped, and there was like 12 guys in the back of the pickup, and the truck had flipped, and there were dead bodies everywhere. Whoa. And we were the first ones on the scene. And I did the same thing that the main character did in Sister Tempest. Ran up to this one guy who was covered in blood, and I gave him CPR and tried to revive him, and I laid hands on him. And I prayed to Jesus to heal him, and I cried out to God, and the guy was completely dead. Like, and
Wow.
and it was the very like one of those like touchstone experiences in your life that you'll never forget, you know. And so the Sister Tempest is filled with those kind of little moments that are taken straight from my personal life. And so I remember right after we finished the rough cut, and I sat down and watched the rough cut by myself one night. By the end of the film, I was just bawling, crying, and like heaving, crying, like I was having a spiritual experience. And I was like, this is the most personal thing I've ever created, and I'm very proud of it. So
That's so cool, man. Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. It's so hard to finish any project, much less one that with that much quality to it. It's very impressive. That's
well,
really cool.
I owe it all to everyone else in the film. Like, you know, like with films, it's like not just one person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did a lot. I wrote the script, of course, and then my friend Jason Krupa came and refined the script because I'm not very good at character development. He came and like really helped with the character development, and then, you know, did a lot of pre-production with finding props and wardrobe. And my wife, Tanya, really helped with a lot of the pre-production. And then when we shot, of course, you know, the actors all, I didn't tell them what to do. I'm not an actor, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just like, I just hope they're doing a good job, you know? and Daniel Waghorn, the cinematographer, is just so professional and so on point. He, you know, like he just knew what he was doing. And then the movie would still be just shot and not done if it wasn't for Joseph Estrade, who the editor who put it all together, who spent the last year of his life, every extra time that he had, working on the damn thing, and spending way more time than I have on the post-production side of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then there would be no CGI without Clint Carney, who donated his time to do that because he's an executive producer on the film, so he's got that kind of commitment to the film.
Mm-hmm.
And just believed in the project. So everybody, like pretty much most people did this as a passion project and did it, you know, volunteered their time. And so, yeah, it would just still be a screenplay if it wasn't for everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's
like,
awesome, man.
It's an amazing thing that it got done, but I was just like this bit of it. You know?
Yeah, well, that's very humble of you to say. I know there's a lot more than that, but that's awesome that you had such a strong crew to get that achieved.
You know, well, I had just a lot of wonderful people, a lot of loving people, a lot of people that like I said, spent their own money to just come down and you know, fly down just to be part of it. Like, it's just amazing. It like restores your faith in humanity to see people that just want to do something just for the sake of art. You know, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love to hear that. That's awesome, man. You're the accident thing that you experienced. That's nuts, man. Wow, I didn't know you went through that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was really crazy then recreating it for the screen. You know.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's weird being that personal. Like, the movie is filled with all that. You know, like all my upbringing as a Catholic, and
Mm-hmm.
then being a youth minister for a long time, and having to like come to terms with who I am as a person and who God is for me, and there's a lot of me dealing with my relationship with God in this film.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can watch it and be like, oh, this is just a crazy film, but to me, there's such a personal meaning that most people will never know. You know.
Yeah, that's really cool. I would like to do the second episode with you where we dive into the spiritual side of stuff, because I really would like to dig in your brain about that, because I know you've been on a roller coaster as well, and I want to know your perspective on everything and where you're at.
I would love that.
That'd be cool.
You know, it'd be cool is if we, with your other program, if maybe we talked a lot about ghosts and about spiritualism and all that stuff. We can kind of tie
let's
all
do
that
that.
in together.
Yeah,
That'd be really
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, we'll do that soon, man. August is right around the corner, so I'll get with you and we'll figure out a date that works for both of us. That'll be a lot of fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we haven't dived into that enough on that podcast either, so I'd like to go into that. And we've been holding out the cults and everything for you too, so that's gonna be that's gonna be another fun one. We can do 2 of them. We can do 2 different ones.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I'd love that.
Endless amounts of fun to be had. All right, Joe. I appreciate you coming on, man. Where can my little listeners, where can my mom find all your stuff to support you, man?
Well, Mom, you can go to if you go on Facebook and look up Sister Tempest, you can find the Facebook page for that. You can go to sistertempest.blogspot.com, and that's where our official website is. You can see the trailer there. You can see clips from the film there. You can also see it on the Facebook page. Also, I have a Twitter account. If you go to Twitter, look up Sister Tempest. If you go to Instagram, look up Sister Tempest. We have that there. And we're doing some secret screenings for fans and friends, and that's all updated on all of the pages. And then any festival screenings, any screenings, we'll have it updated on those pages.
Okay, cool. So, I'll get those links from you too, and we'll put them in the episode notes.
Sweet. That'd be great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this, Joe. I'm looking forward to the next couple that we're going to do. And
hell yeah.
Take care, bro. Have a good one.
Sounds good.